All right, everybody. Today we're going to look at how you can punch in some expressions on Desmos calculator. We use a Desmos scientific calculator here in 7th grade. So I'm going to show you how you can punch in that stuff as well as multiple choice answers, and then do a couple moves and see what the correct answer is. So of course you want to make sure you know how to do the manual way as well. You've seen videos of us doing that up here on our module, but it's always handy to have something to check your answers. A good tool to go back in and back you up when you get your answer. That's what we'll be using Desmos for today. So I've got the screen looking at our NCA cloud here. We're going to click on Clever. And once you're on that, scroll down a little bit, and you see you've got two choices for Desmos calculators. We're going to choose a Desmos scientific calculator. Go ahead and heart that. If you heart that, a lot of times that'll take that up to the top of your page like that there. So I'm going to click on Desmos scientific calculator. And so I'm going to type in what the problem would look like on your paper. So let's say you have -5. Now, when you want to put in a negative sign on Desmos, you have to use the subtraction sign. So -5 will be the -5 here. And then let's do times the quantity of -8a minus 4. So parentheses, -8, remember negative's a minus sign. If you want to put in the variable a, you can click on this ABC button right here and then put in a. And then -4. To get back to -4, you got to click back on the main button here, and then -4 there. So I'm going to close that parentheses. So this is what my problem would look like. In other words, the original question would say -5 times the quantity of -8a minus 4. So the multiple choice answers, in other words, once you do distributive property, the multiple choice answers would look like the following. So you click this button down here to go to the next line. So let's say first multiple choice answer was 40a minus 20. So put 40. If you want to put in ABC, or you want to put in a, you got to click ABC, A. Go back to main, and then -20. So that's what my first multiple choice answer would look like. My next multiple choice answer was -40a minus 20. So same thing I got right here. Just put a negative sign in the front. So -40a. Click ABC to get to A. Click main to get back to the original screen, and then -20. Next line, we got 40a plus 20. So 40, click ABC to get to A, and then plus 20. And then the final multiple choice answer will be -40a. -40, so you click ABC to get to A, click main to get back to the original screen, and then plus 20. All right, so we typed in our original problem for the first line, and these were our 4 multiple choice answers here. So A was 40a minus 20, B was -40a minus 20, C was 40a plus 20, and D was -40a plus 20. So now I'm going to hit enter and go to this final line. What you can do here is choose a number to substitute in for A, and then we'll come back in and see how we can get the answer from that. So when I've done this strategy before, I try to stay away from 0 and 1. Every now and then you might have an issue with that. I'll usually start with the number 2. Now, somebody asked me one time, can I put in 1,276 for my mystery number? And I said, sure, it doesn't matter what number you choose for the most part. So I just always try to keep it small and simple and choose the number 2. So I'm going to choose A equals 2. So I'm going to click ABC. There's my A, there's my equals, and then 2. Now look what happens when I put in A equals 2. What it's doing here is going back into all these other ones you already typed in, and it's basically doing order of operations. It's taking out the A and putting in a 2. For example, this one right here, it's saying -40 times 2 plus 20. When it does order of operations, it's saying that would give you a value of -60. So scroll all the way back up to the top. You see how this one gives you 100. So in other words, you plug in a 2 right here and do -5 times the quantity of -8 times 2 minus 4. It will give you 100. So as I'm looking down, this answer is not 100, so I know it's out. This answer is not 100, so I know it's out. This answer is 100, so therefore I know this is my correct answer here. So when I do the distributive property here, I should be getting 40a plus 20 based on this information that I use in Desmos. So this is a way you can just go back in and put these into Desmos, these types of problems into Desmos, and find out what your correct answer would be. So like I mentioned to you before, if this was the original problem, here was letter choice A, letter choice B, letter choice C, letter choice D, and when I substituted A, excuse me, 2 in for A, it showed me that the original problem should be 100, and this one was 100 right here, so therefore this one would be my answer choice. Let's look at another one. Now, you saw me doing a lot of steps with this main screen here. I'm actually going to use the keyboard for some of these next steps here. So let's come in and clear everything out. And this time, let's try a little bit longer problem. Let's put -4 and then parentheses and then -2 plus 5. And then, like I said, I'm just going to use A on my keyboard here rather than doing all the ABC stuff. I think that's a shorter way. I just want to show you both ways so you can kind of choose which one you like the best. Parentheses minus parentheses 3 minus 7. I'm going to type in A again and then close parentheses. So that's what my original problem looked like. So the question would ask, if I did distributive property here and combine like terms, what would my final answer look like if I simplified this expression down? So hit enter to go to our next line. So my first multiple choice answer here is -27a minus 11. So -27a minus 11. Next line, -27a plus 11. -27a plus 11. Third line, -13a minus 5. -13a minus 5. And last line, -13a plus 5. So -13a plus 5. And once again, I'm going to substitute and choose a equals 2. You can choose whatever you want in terms of plugging in that number. So if you come back up here and look and see that I get -21, I scroll down, nope, not -21, not -21, not -21. This one here is -21, so therefore I know this -13a plus 5 is my final answer on this problem here. Just to show you, you could choose a different number. We're going to hit backspace. Instead of using 2, let's just use 3 this time instead. So look, you see it gives me -34 up here. So not -34, not -34, not -34. Oh, -34, I get the same answer, -13a plus 5. And like I said, you can choose what that kid said at 1,276. So you can choose something big like that. Here I get -16,583. So nope. Yep, up here. So nope. I'm sorry, -16,583. So nope, this one, nope, this one, nope, this one. Yep, this one here. That's such big numbers. I had to go back and look at them carefully. So -16,583. Once again, will give me the same answer. It's not going to be this one, not going to be this one, not going to be this one. This number here gave me -16,583, which once again was -13a plus 5. So I don't recommend using something that big. Obviously, you saw me struggling a little bit trying to read everything as I'm trying to do this video, but something simple like a 2 would be all you'd need to figure out what the answer was. Let's check out another one. Let's clear this stuff. Let's use one this time that has a couple of variables. Let's choose, I'm going to choose this one. So let's do -3 parentheses 2a and then plus c and then close parentheses -7a. -7a. All right, so that's what my original problem would look like. And wants us to do distributive property, combine like terms, simplify this expression now. So when I look at my answer choices here, I've got a -5a minus 4c. So -5a minus 4c. Next answer choice, same thing except it'll be plus 4c. So -5a plus 4c. After that, we got -13a minus 3c. So -13a minus 3c. And the last one we'll do -13a plus 3c. -13a plus 3c. All right, so I got all my answers in there. I'm going to come down here. So this time I got to put a line for A equaling something and then C also equaling something. So let's just choose 2 and 3 again. So I'm going to do A equals 2 on this line. And then I'm going to come down here. On this next line, I'll put C equals 3. Just choosing random numbers here. So if I come back up and look, I had -35 to start with. Over here, nope, not -35. Not -35. Yep, -35. Just to show you it wasn't this last one. That's -17. So if I got negative 35 up here and negative 35 right here, I know that when I do the distributive property and combine like terms, negative 13a minus 3c is going to be my final answer on this one here. So once again, a good way that Desmos can help us out in terms of checking over our answers if we work them out manually, or if you happen to see this on a calculator active piece of a check-in, or maybe you see on an EOG later on, I don't know, somewhere like that, maybe it can be helpful for you too if you use a Desmos on that. Let me come back in and show you before we go, just clear everything out. So you might have a situation where it's not necessarily asking you to simplify down, it's asking you to substitute a number in and then do order of operations. So let's say you have this expression, 2n squared minus n plus 12. We'll hit enter. And let's say they're telling you, rather than us trying to guess a number here and giving multiple choice answers for trying to simplify something down, let's say in this problem they're saying, okay, if you substitute a number in for n, what would your final value be? So let's say they're telling you in the problem that n is going to be equaling 3. So we'll put n equals, I'm sorry, not 3, I'm looking at the problem, negative 3. So put in negative 3. So in this scenario here, the original problem that they gave you was 2n minus n plus 12, and it'd say something like simplify this expression if n equals negative 3. So basically they're coming back in, they're plugging in a negative 3 here, where that n is, also negative 3 here. So it's like they're saying for you 2 times negative 3 squared minus negative 3 plus 12. If they plug that in for you, they come back here and they say you get an answer of 33. So if a situation like this is a multiple choice question, you wouldn't see expressions down for your multiple choice answers, you would see actual numbers. So the correct answer here would be 33. So once you do this problem on the Desmos calculator, it's going back in and telling you, hey, if you plug in negative 3 here, your final answer would be 33 if you use order of operations. Let's do one more like this, and then we'll let me clear this. And then we'll hopefully have a situation where you feel comfortable with this. Let's do 2 parentheses c plus 5, close parentheses, plus 2, and then c squared. So 2 parentheses c plus 5, close parentheses, plus 2c squared. Always got to make sure you type it in to the system correctly. All right, and let's say this time c equals negative 1. So c equals negative 1. So in this scenario, you have this expression at the top, and you're telling Desmos that c has a value of negative 1. So basically they're doing 2 times negative 1 plus 5 plus 2 times negative 1 squared, and telling you the final answer would be 10. That's a situation where you can plug in substitution on the Desmos calculator and get your final answer there. So hopefully this was helpful for you with some Desmos steps there. And that way you can use this. I used it a lot of times throughout school, not just necessarily in middle school. So if you see this again later on down the road and algebra, whatever the case may be, hopefully this will be helpful for you. All right, hope y'all enjoyed this. See, I hit stop recording. Y'all have a good one.